all progressive leaders. President Zuma, even at his age, is still firm, is still sharp, he knows what he stands for. And that is why he's leading Umkhonto weSizwe into the future government of South Africa. That is why for the first time they had to tamper with elections, because they know that President Zuma represents progressive politics of South Africa. He is the most revolutionary leader that got to occupy the seat of president and head of state of South Africa. And that is why all of us are not mistaken to defend President Zuma, to boldly say, hands off President Jacob Zuma, hands off. Hands off. Hands off President Jacob Zuma, hands off. Hands off. So comrades, we can assure you now that if this is a court of law, if this is a fair and transparent court of law, the judge is going to rule in our favor to say that Billy Downer can't be an investigator and a prosecutor in a case that he has prosecuted. We are going to emerge victorious in this court because what we have presented is basic logic. We will not allow our laws to be violated by people who are in pursuit of a narrow agenda. We are not distracted. We know who our leaders are. We know what brought us here today. We know that forever we'll always protect the politics, the ideology, the agenda and program that President Zuma represented. So comrades, all of us, let's remain united. In conclusion, the leadership of the province has been announced here in KwaZulu-Natal, led by Macingwana. He is the leader of Umkhonto weSizwe here in the province, together with the provincial detachment. Here in the region of Moses Mabhida, we have appointed a regional working team led by Commander Bekumde Mtolo, who is a combatant. It's an ex-combatant of Umkhonto weSizwe, the Liberation Army. We want to appeal to all the ground forces of Umkhonto weSizwe. Let us bury all the differences of the past and unite behind the leadership that has been established here in the region and in the province. Comrades, if we continue to speak bad about and amongst each other, we are not going to be able to win the local government elections. Here in Mgungundlovu, if you were to check the results of 2024, Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 here in Umsunduzi, and it must remain number 1. Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 in Mshwati, and it must remain number 1. Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 in Mkambatini, and it must remain number 1. Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 in Richmond, and it must remain number 1. Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 in Mpendle, and it must remain number 1. Umkhonto weSizwe is number 1 in Umgeni, and it must remain number 1. And that is the legacy that we must all of us defend. If we fight amongst each other, we are now undermining a proper agenda that we have been given by President Jacob Zuma. So if you fight amongst each other and you want to insult people, you are fighting against President Zuma. So all of us, comrades, let's go home united. If someone comes to whisper to your ear that there is a problem with Comrade Bekumde Mtolo, you must say that you are the problem yourself. If someone comes to you and say there's a problem with the provincial convener and coordinator, you must say it's you who is the problem. Because we've got capable leadership here. There is so many positions that are available for us. We're still going to appoint the sub-regional leadership of all the sub-regions. We're still going to identify councillors, both ward and PR councillors. So all of you here, you must start preparing yourself to take over the municipalities. Because from 2026 onwards, we're going to be government of KwaZulu-Natal in all the municipalities. And we're also going to take over the provincial government to run a progressive agenda that is inspired and informed by the ideas, the progressive ideas of President Gedlesekisa Mhlanganyela Zuma. Thank you very much, comrades, that were here, all of us, to give support to President Zuma. We must continue to do so. We must not be ashamed to be associated with the Mkhonto weSizwe. This is a revolutionary movement. What we are doing is a revolutionary act which will go and be celebrated in the annals of history. Amanda! Hands off, President Jacob Zuma, hands off! Hands off, President Jacob Zuma, hands off! My way! Yeah, Africa! My way! Yeah, Africa! Sabonga kakhulu, comrades. The national chairperson is going to come and lead a song for all of us. Comrade National Chairperson. Amanda!